Hello everyone, welcome to the Salto Perfect Memory Redby Media presentation about Salto's digital asset management use case when they launched their SVOD service in France last year. With me today are Thomas Chaptal, Project Manager at Perfect Memory, Hugues Blondet, responsible for the digital asset management tool, marketing and communication at Salto, and myself, in charge of sales for Redby Media in France, part of Ericsson. So let's first hear from Hugues on Salto and its specificities.
Hello everybody, I introduce myself, Hugues Blondet. I'm responsible for the DAM marketing and communication project of Salto. Salto is a new French SVOD platform initiated by its three shareholders, TF1, France Télévisions and M6 Groups. It's now 1 year old as of October 20th, 2021. The story. So, some 7 months before it launched, I was in charge of designing the creation of marketing and communication DAM. We had to install, in parallel with the publication of the programs on the platform, the implementation of the management, creation and distribution of assets related to the communication of the program brands. The old-fashioned FTP was still a first and easy solution to set up the transfers and provision of the first few hundred assets. We had to think in the very short term in order to find a solution to set up a real DAM. The solution had to be scalable, agile, reflective, with a real vision of the future. And all this for the sake of functional speed a few months before the launch of the platform. So, start our marketing and communication cycle. First, distribution and or right holders. The program is acquired under contracts and until publication rights on the platform. The promotional material is thus made available to us. It's sorted and classified according to very specific attribution. Press kits, poster, reference visual, illustration logo, trailers. Its containers are diverse and varied. PDF, doc, JPEG, TIFF, PSD, MOV, AI, etc. Form also 69, 34, 23, etc. From a few assets to more than 100 per brand are thus created in Southeast mode. The second, applicants. Brand communication team are thus identified. CRM, acquisition, and editor are the teams that will communicate on the brands acquired by Salto Contents team. This will have to publish through extremely precise formats. In addition, the communication team, the social room, the product offer, the partnerships will also be requesting specific formats, animated graphics, trailer, multi-brands, etc. All this creation will be intended for the Salto platform, its landing page, but also for press release, various social networks, our media partners, product offer partners, etc. We have specified the use for each trademark. We must already think about this initial classification, but also about cross uses. We need a DAM that can recognize in these asset sources the subject in question in a simple and effective way. Thus, the need for artificial intelligence linked to image recognition to the ingestion of each of these source assets is also essential. Sorry. We could also think to this DAM, turn towards the future, to a specific subject and attribute to a no unrecognized actor, knowing the restriction of right of use on certain past of future trademarks. In the same way, applicants can be considered as user under groups with particular uses. Being able to download and use a brand's asset cannot be accessible to everyone. Sorry. Producer. We have two graphic studios within Salto. One is thus dedicated to the declination of brand formats. Thus, from the sources, it will produce 22 precise formats for each of the program marks. Logo, program highlighting 6934 with a set of resolution specifics to each applicant. The other will decline more generic graphic design attributes for a partnership, a distributor, a landing page according to request. In addition, the social room will also produce dedicated assets, story, GIF, video in square format, etc. On the other hand, the post-prod will produce trailers for social networks, but also for broadcast on the broadcast of the mother groups of Salto. In addition, extract from the program must be made available in order to be able to send them to the press, the social room, etc. Sorry. The provision of assets. All these assets produced from the source must therefore be made available to applicants. We have thus chosen to make them available in two forms. The first, ready to publish, PAP in France, is intended for use in its own format. The second, validated, is usable for possible external uses. For a video, it's not WES. For a graphic, it's in PSD format generally, with specific layers. So we need connection. The relationship, the provision between all these actors will have to be governed by very specific workflow with automatic or non-automatic shipment intended for well-listed partners, and the back office of our technical service provider of the Salto platform in order to embellish the visual intended for specific brands. There's publication with the rights. The notion of publication right is essential for the production of assets dedicated to a program brand as part of a distribution contract. All the actors of this marketing and communication cycle must know the dates of use of these assets. Access to these will be done by carrying a database related to the contract of each brand. To do so, 2 months before the date of publication, access to these assets will be issued as specified at each acquisition. At the closing date of publication, this asset must be invisible to DAM user and become archived in this DAM. Here, our initial needs and our challenge delivered to our service provider, Red Bee Media, to define our DAM marketing and communication. And now, Melanie will explain this to you in details. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hugues. So for those of you who are not familiar with Red Bee, we are a leading global media services company and a trusted partner to some of the world's strongest brands, media brands and broadcasters, as well as new and innovative businesses, entrepreneurs and content owners. Every day, millions of people across the globe discover, enjoy and engage with content that has been prepared by Red Bee, managed or broadcast or streamed through Red Bee's managed services. Salto and their customers are one of them. So if we zoom onto the Salto use case, Salto's digital asset management complexity was to bring in content from a wide variety of sources on the left-hand side of the graph, coming from their 3 shareholding companies, TF1, M6, and France Télévisions, but also production companies or content owners. And this content would need to be delivered to a large number of destinations, whether internet service providers. So I listed all of the French ones here, but as an example, but at the moment, the only one who has a partnership with Salto is Bouygues Telecom, and also all the social networks. And in the middle of the two, Salto needed a work area in which you find lots of different external and internal work streams and interaction between the graphic studio and the post-production studio that Hugues was referring to, and the communications team, the editorial team, the CRM team, and so on and so forth. Redby was called in by Salto to understand all of these ambitions and conceive the appropriate work streams. We carried out a 6-month benchmark and RFP on their behalf, and working very closely with them, we perceived that their absolute need was for a unique semantic search capability. And that's why we selected Perfect Memory, as their solution ideally matched this request. Thomas will describe this to you in a minute. Finally, Redby also provide post-production managed services, which is the yellow brick you can see at the bottom, whereby we supply edit suites, equipment, personnel to build all of Salto's trailers. And this section, this brick, interacts both ways with the digital asset management tool. For example, receiving graphic elements and then pushing back complete trailers. In a nutshell, we have a long-term partnership with Salto, offering a fully agile and scalable managed service and support, which can evolve in time as Salto grows. I will now let Thomas tell you more about Perfect Memory's technical solution. Thank you.
Hello everyone, thank you Melanie. Today I will demonstrate how we do this with our semantic connective platform, Raffine. With Redby Media, we deployed the Perfect Memory DAM for Salto. We provide to the Salto's business teams a powerful engine that speaks the Salto language. I will show you how can it works today. First, for this part, we connect the DAM directly to the Redby Media Amazon S3 bucket. When the antivirus analysis is done, the Perfect Memory platform gets an SMS notification to download the file automatically. Now, the file is in our semantic platform, Raffine. The DAM will add automatically all the information based on the Salto's business rules defined with their teams. First rule, provide the brand information. Then, based on the brand itself, some additional brand information are automatically added. At the same time, according to the file name, our connective platform will add the business department information, especially for the team having the most concern for the specific file. At the end of the first step, the DAM analyzes automatically the file properties and makes it available for the final users. Additional information expected by the business teams comes from the Salto's data lake, which has been connected to the Perfect Memory platform thanks to our connecting framework. In this example, the broadcast restrictions are highly important for the teams are added to the metadata. It will be useful for the access management, as we'll see at the end of this demonstration. The connective platforms takes advantage of a powerful third-party automatics analysis module, such as the Google API Vision, to provide the final users with automatic indexation. As an example here, the DAM gets the image analysis, objects of interest in the picture classification, and the major color. Thanks to this analysis, it gives us to the user the ability to find content related together by new point of interest. For example here, we can search all the images with a specific color. This is very useful to prepare some promotional campaign related to colors like orange for Halloween. Following business rules, the DAMs copy automatically the assets in the Salto's cloud storage platform. That allows to avoid the daily tasks. It removes repetitive tasks and saves a lot of time for the users. As you can see in this diagram, we make a strong separation between physical and logical information. I already did this separation in the diagram. You can see the editorial information in blue and the manifestation in purple. Let's zoom in it. On the top of it is the document, where is linked all the editorial information. We can add several entities, for example, the brand, copyright, colors, on the document, and any information that can help to index it, to find it, and furthermore archive it. On the bottom, there is a digital resource, which represents the file that is going to be stored and consumed by final users. There is attached all the technical information related to the file itself. In this case, one key advantage for Salto: we can detect if an ingest file is already existing in the DAM. That allows to the final user to ingest in the DAM a file several times without cacheing itself. The DAM does the job itself and guarantees that the editorial parts and the digital parts are always up to date without any duplication. This model is based on the FRBR standard and ensures a reliable preservation policy for any Salto content. Users can only see assets they are allowed to see following the business rules. Access policy is based on groups, users, and content editorial information, so that it gives to Salto a very accurate restriction management. As I said earlier, it's an example in Salto. All assets with a prohibition restriction are unwatchable to the non-administrators users. As soon as the document has been ingested, it becomes searchable and actionable in our Trouver interface. Here, you have the search bar with auto-completion that only provides terms coming from the indexation process. You can be more precise with the filter category just here. And you can use our semantic facets to refine your search. Facets are very useful because they appear only if it's relevant. That means you only see facets according to your current search. Furthermore, users could export content directly from the Trouver interface to the Salto cloud or any other target. As an example, on their Google Drive. This is used by Salto business teams every day to easily search, find, and produce content, and I love it.
Thank you, Thomas. This concludes our presentation today. If you have any question, feel free to reach out on the IFTA chat, or you could also email us. We have listed our 3 email addresses on this slide. We hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thank you.